Hi, it's Sandy Wyllie. Welcome to my mental health channel where I wipe away the stigma of mental illness by talking about my own personal experiences having borderline personality disorder. I talk about post-traumatic stress disorder, which I also have, and anxiety, depression, narcissism, bipolar, schizophrenia. I talk about all the different types of therapies there are out there and my experiences in therapy with an unethical psychologist that sexually abused me, and just a plethora of other mental health topics. But I only come on as a former patient of 20 years. I am not a licensed therapist. I do not hold a degree in psychology, so I cannot diagnose you. I cannot give you a professional opinion. All I ask in turn of you is please be kind and respectful in the comments down below. Be kind to me. Be kind to other people who comment. We don't have to agree on everything. Variety is the spice of life after all. But we do need to agree to be respectful and kind. And if you're not, I will, just hide you from my channel, because that's very, very important to me, to be able to talk freely and openly without criticism or judgment. This is a self-improvement channel too, so we talk a lot about motivational things. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I welcome one and all, everyone here. Hit that subscribe button there down below on the right, so that way there you will be notified whenever a new video comes up. And if you like what you see on the left, hit that thumbs up there. Go give that a little ding. That way they all know which videos are more popular, which videos people don't like, so I can concentrate on that. I welcome all comments and I will respond to all comments. If you feel comfortable enough, I love to hear about your own personal struggles with mental health, and all are welcome. I will not judge you. I will not criticize you. We can have an ongoing dialogue. Today is depression. Are you depressed? Have you ever been in a depression? I know I have been in a depression. I'm still fighting one today. I've been in a depression when I had a bad miscarriage in 1992, and I was infertile. After the miscarriage made me infertile. I couldn't get pregnant for years after that. The doctor said I would never have a baby. Professional head of a fertility clinic told me I will be childless the rest of my life. And then I had two of my sons naturally with no fertility help at all. But so I don't believe in doctors at all. If you watch my channel, you'll see that I'm anti. That's just my opinion now, okay? Because I've had very bad experiences, especially in therapy. The other time I was in a deep depression, it was after I was for years sexually abused by Dr. James Barberry and Dr. Richard Geist. They had sex. I had sex with Jim, which because of the doctor-patient, while I was his patient, he sexually abused me severely, physically abused me, verbally, emotionally, and Dr. Richard Geist the same. So I've done tons and tons of videos on them, and I'm not going to get into that. I'm just telling you now in this video the 2 times I was severely depressed, and I'm going to go into all the symptoms, and then I will also, as I always do in these videos, tell you how the depression affected me personally, on a personal level, how it affected me. Now, depression is, we'll go into the symptoms, when you feel very sad, hopeless, and empty inside all the time. Like, if you feel sad that your dog died, that's normal. That doesn't mean you're in a depression. You might feel sad for a little while. But, people will have times in their life when they lose their parents or a pet, or they lose their job, or, something, they have an illness where they will feel sad. At times they might feel hopeless, but Usually it will just be a short period of time, because of an incident. Something happens, like they lost, their pet. They'll feel sad for a while. They might feel a little empty when they come home and that dog doesn't run up and jump on them, but that's not a depression, okay? You can have symptoms of something without having the illness, okay? That goes for, both mental health and physical health. You don't have to have, you can have some symptoms. It doesn't mean that you're in a depression, okay? So let's go on about that. The sad, hopeless, empty feeling, some people disguise that wearing a mask. So some people will go and you won't even know they're depressed, okay? A lot of people, like Robin Williams, okay? A lot of people didn't know he was depressed because he was a comedian. He always smiled. He always cracked jokes. You might have someone like that. Later on, you find out they killed themselves, and you go, my God, I didn't even know that person was depressed. Like, that person went to all the parties. That person you saw at work, always, friendly, gregarious, like, hello, how are you? Because they were wearing the mask, So they presented a happy front like I do. I wear a mask a lot of times, but I really don't socialize, so I don't have to keep that mask on all the time. Like, go like this when I really feel like that, okay? Other people don't wear the mask. They just completely self-isolate. They will not do anything. They won't get out of bed. They won't work. They won't socialize. They won't go to parties. They just completely don't go anywhere. So there's two fronts to it, okay? There's the people that wear the mask and no one knows any better what's deep inside, and there's the other person who doesn't wear the mask and just self-isolates, so no one sees them anyway. So no one knows, Unable to enjoy things. That's another huge red flag of depression. When I went through my depression both times, I told you, and there was more than those two, but those two stand out a lot when I had the bad miscarriage, infertility, and then when I went through the sexual abuse with, at the same time I went through the sexual abuse too. My son was severely beaten, and I have a severely handicapped son who has severe traumatic brain injury from meningitis. I did that in other videos, and that happened at the same time too. That was being sexually abused by my psychologist. So I really didn't have anyone. So I didn't enjoy, during those times, I didn't enjoy anything. Like that time when I had the miscarriage and infertility, I just stayed home. I pulled all the shades down in the house, so it was always dark. It could be like June and sunny and 80 degrees outside, but it was always pitch black in my house so I always lived in darkness during that depression. I had a mattress I put in the floor of the living room, and I just laid there all day and night. So I didn't enjoy anything, okay? Obviously, I didn't do anything. I didn't have fun. I didn't go out. I didn't see friends. I didn't see family. I didn't do anything. So if you don't enjoy the normal activities that you normally do, it doesn't bring you any fulfillment like it used to. You just don't have no, energy. Then you're suffering from a depression. Now, it doesn't mean if you feel this like one time, you're really sad or something, you don't feel like going out with friends, but I mean, if you quit activities that you normally do, like if you're in a poetry group and you don't do that anymore, if you're in a bowling league and you drop out of that because it's no longer fun, if you don't even want to go out for simple things like shopping with the girls or something, like, you just don't feel, the things that you used to find fun no longer, do anything for you. You just don't want to do them. Another thing is a change with your weight and your appetite. That and your sleeping patterns. Now, both you can go to either extreme, and I did too. Remember, I told in other videos, I told you I got up to like 175 before I was pregnant, 175, and then I tipped the scales at 200 when I was pregnant. So you can gain a ton of weight like I did. I gained 60 pounds, or you can lose a ton of weight. Other people go the other extreme, and they might lose 60 pounds. I don't know. They don't want to eat. They have no desire to do the things, like you really enjoy a delicious hot fudge sundae with whipped cream and nuts and caramel sauce, and you no longer have an appetite. You lose your appetite. You have no desire to eat, so you lose a ton of weight. Or you're so depressed that you're eating everything, binge eating everything in sight. You gain a ton of weight. Same with your sleep. You're either sleeping like 10, 11 hours a day, like round the clock. You don't want to get out of bed. You're taking naps. Like you just have no effort to do anything. You're so depressed that all you do is sleep. Only when you sleep do you feel peace, because you're unconscious. It could be that, or you can't sleep at all. You have insomnia. I had both. During one of my depressions, I slept round the clock. Another time I couldn't sleep at all. I'd only have 1 or 2 hours sleep. So it can go either extreme in the weight or the sleep department, okay? Either you gain excessive weight or you lose excessive. Either you sleep excessively or you can't sleep at all, insomnia. Now let's see. You feel very restless inside. Your body feels like you're carrying extra weight. Your limbs feel very, very heavy. You just feel this heavy, feeling like you're sinking, like someone has tied cement blocks on you and you're sinking down into the ocean like that. You feel very, very heavy. You have very low energy all day long. Okay, even if you're working, how people have that burst of energy when it's time to leave. It's the end of the day or the weekend. People get a burst of energy. Yay, it's the weekend. You can do what you want. It's like you have no energy all the time. Even at the end of the workday, even at on the weekend when it's you have all the time. You just have no energy to do anything. Another thing is feeling worthless. You have trouble making decisions. You have memory loss, because your mind, when you're in this kind of state, just can't focus on anything. So you just don't remember because you're not focused. Depression takes away your focus. It took away my focus, so I couldn't think of anything all day long, and also constant crying. You can't stop crying. I've had that. You ever have those crying bouts, or you can't stop crying, or you can't cry at all because you dried yourself out. You cried so much that you can't cry anymore, or you can't produce tears. You're it's like trapped deep inside of you, so you can't even release your emotions. I've been like that too. So you feel like dead. You're a dead wood, okay? You can't cry. Either you cry excessively. It's usually extremes. Either you cry excessively, or you're like a piece of dead wood in the at the beach. You just can't. It's so buried inside and deep inside of your gut. Everything happens in your gut. Your gut is your best indication of what's going on with you. That you just can't. You think about death all the time. And then we talk about passive thoughts of death and active thoughts of it. Passive thoughts of it would be like, if you're crossing the street and you say, you know what, I wish I would get hit by a car. It'd be better off if I wasn't here. Things like that are passive thoughts of death. And many people have them from different times in their life. I know I have. I definitely have had passive thoughts of death. And people need to talk about this more openly, okay? A lot of people are too shamed, fearful. They don't really want to talk about this. But a lot of times in life, you do feel like, I'd be better off if I wasn't even born. have you watched the movie with Jimmy Stewart, It's a Wonderful Life? That's a perfect movie. It's a Christmas movie. It's a very, very old movie, but look it up. It's a Wonderful Life by and Jimmy Stewart plays the character George Bailey. It's one of my favorite holiday movies. In fact, I've watched it to death over the years, you know. But yeah, at one point he lost everything. He lost his job. He was going to lose his house and everything, and he was going to jump off the bridge, and you know, just that's active. Okay. When you're thinking about making a plan and following through with it is active. And depression a lot of people have died from depression, but in that was a happy movie because his guardian angel saved him from doing it. But at that stage, when you actually, it goes beyond just thinking to you're making an active planning on it, that's when you really need psychological help. I never came to that stage, thank God. I was just in the stage of, passively thinking life really isn't worth living. It'd be better off if I wasn't here. Like, I have no purpose. I'm worthless. What's the point of getting up in the morning? No one would notice if I died anyway. That's more passive. Either way, depression is very crippling. We need to talk about it more. I've been through it myself, and I've been in therapy almost 20 years. The therapist sexually abused me. I haven't been in therapy now for 3 years straight, and they never helped me. They harmed me. But it doesn't mean that, and I've went to many, many therapists, like almost 20 years in therapy. I didn't stay with one therapist. I had a gazillion of them, men, women, old people, really old, very young people, different nationalities, different races, black, white, European. I run the gamut of it, and they only harmed me. But I'm not telling you shouldn't go to therapy. There's no way I'm coming on and promoting that. So don't write me and say, what are you trying to tell people? I'm just telling you that I was harmed over and over again. I just had bad luck in it, So how did I get out of my depression? I can't say I'm fully out of my depression. I wear the mask a lot. So I put on a good front, but deep down, I'm really not a happy person. Deep down, I'm still battling depression. But I'm battling it. See, I'm not giving into it. I'm not saying that if you don't get out of bed that, I'm better than you because you're giving into yours. I'm not trying to make any comparisons. I've been there. All right. I'm saying I'm battling it, an ongoing thing. I'm battling it. All right. I've been there when I just felt completely defeated and didn't feel like doing anything. But what helps me is having this YouTube channel, right? I can come on here and I can talk honestly and openly to you, the public, my subscribers, anyone else who watches my video, and tell you that, yeah, I'm battling depression. I do wear the mask, okay? When I come on to my videos, I do wear the smile, and I don't feel that great at all inside, I do don the mask, but it does help to come on and talk. And a lot of people who've done videos who say they have no friends, they say it's really helpful that they have this YouTube channel where they can talk to people. And yeah, social media can help. It can hurt too if you get the wrong kind of people. I've had real idiots who criticized me and pretended they were my friend. So you got to watch out for people like that, But on the other hand, I've also had very lovely, lovely people who I've been friends with on social media who have, encouraged me, stood by me, bought all my books, told me how beautiful I was and how one, put me up, brought me up instead of bringing me down by criticizing me. So On the other hand, you just have to be careful who you socialize with on social media. It can work both ways for you, right? It can either, bring you up or, deflate you. So the people that deflate you, you just block them. You have nothing to do with them. It's as easy as blocking them. It's not like in real life, when you go to work or something, you can't just block the person, right? On social media. That's why it's so great. You can block all the deadbeats. But yeah, that's what helps me. Writing helps me. You can share, if you feel comfortable, your struggles, and maybe other people can relate, and then you don't feel so alone. Like, yeah, you know what, I do feel like that woman, and yeah, I'm not alone. There's a lot of people out there like me, and that talk about it, write about it, and just take it one day. I know this is cliche, and I hate throwing cliches at you. Oh yeah, one day at a time, one day at a time. How many one day at a time have I lived and nothing's changed? Time heals all wounds. No, it doesn't heal all wounds. Okay, I'm not going to throw that cliche at you. Time heals all wounds, but over time, you can take the pain and transform it. You still feel the pain. I'm not saying that time will heal your wounds if it's really deep, but you can kind of transform it into something like me. I transformed my pain of being sexually abused by psychologists. How did I do that? I wrote books, several books. I have the links down below. I kept writing and writing exactly what these terrible shrinks from Harvard, Yale, Duquesne University, what they did to me, okay? I wrote it, published it on Amazon, and people are buying it. I write a newsletter, Unethical Psychology, on LinkedIn. I write a newsletter and tell them exactly what these people did, graphically, specifically, spell it out in the books and in the newsletter. Name names, so I'm not just, I'm putting out names so people say, look, this person did this. And that helps release me. Other people might find therapy to help them just because I didn't, Doing these videos is something else that I can get it out, bring it up, get it out, release. So what I'm doing is I'm transforming the pain, okay? It doesn't mean the pain's going to go away, but I'm, putting it to use. That's why I feel really good about what I do. I feel really good about my writing my books. Emails of an unethical psychologist, Love Bomb by a Harvard psychologist, Looking for Mr. GoodShrink, Sexually Exploited by 3 psychologists. These are Love Outside the Boundaries. These are all my psychology books that I spent years writing and publishing on Amazon, and people have bought them. Not like hundreds of people. A few people a month, maybe 3 or 4 people a month will buy my books. This is not a lot, but as long as I can get my word out there and my videos, that helps. And it does transform the pain. It does. Does it make the pain go away? No, but it transforms it. And I hope you will share your story if you have depression, what's helped you. If you want to talk about it, I'm not trying to pressure you that you have to talk about it, but if you wish to talk about it, I'd be only very glad to read what you have to say, to respond to you, and we can have an open dialogue here, and that's what I hope for the most. Have an ongoing open dialogue with all my subscribers.